You already know it, the Titanoboa, a 40-foot giant snake that was once found in the barren lands of the Cetahon, and some people even say that it continues to live on, despite it being extinct. Could these amazing but terrifying claims change that? I think the last thing you want to see on a nice fishing boat trip is some giant creature breaking on the surface. This couple just so happened to be that unlucky duo, where in the middle of their filming, this slimy, dark-colored looking creature twists itself out from beneath the waves. For a second, it even looks like it coils itself at one point in that snake-like manner. Is it a snake though? Who's to say? Probably marine biologists, but for the sake of our inner childlike brains, we're gonna imagine that it is a snake. The couple also have a reasonable reaction to this nasty looking thing, taking in that shocking gasp that we all know too well. The one where your mouth is dry and you're going But of course, we can't brush off the idea that this probably isn't the mysterious Titanoboa, but rather probably a whale or a manatee considering how far out they are from land. The Titanoboa is big, but I don't think it's dumb enough to want to be out that far from land. Imagine that thing hitting your boat though. Have y'all ever experienced something like that on a trip? You gotta let me know in the comments down below. By far my favorite giant snake video out there is the one where someone manages to capture this thing with a chicken, which, just letting you know, does not get harmed by the way, but check out this video. The snake makes its way over in the muddy water towards the trap's entrance and is super quick when it's unhinging its massive jaw trying to capture the chicken. The body coils up, the sheer force of its body rocking the muddy water around it violently, showing us its incredible strength and speed. Can we also give a round of applause for the extremely barren and skinny looking tree that's holding onto this massive serpent and keeping it in place? I'm also finding it funny how the chicken isn't even reacting to this thing, only giving a tiny little hop when it tries to nab it. I don't know where in the world this happened, but I'm just glad I don't have to deal with these giant snakes. I do wonder what happens in the rest of this video though, and leaves me on the edge of my seat, wondering as to how they're gonna handle a very angry snake now. Would you guys be brave enough to touch it? Some of you snake hunters out there are absolutely mad. I'm all about taking footage of them from a very safe and large distance, but to go as far as to grab one and try to pull it out of the water is insane. I want the cojones on this guy who spots a giant snake with a thankfully full belly, because I don't even want to imagine doing this when it's hungry. But he and his crew decide to follow it like an absolute madman, and once they catch up to the giant creature, he yanks it by the tail like it's a toy. The snake is obviously freaking out at this point. I mean, wouldn't you? A wild animal just trying to do wild animal things and some human pulls you by the tail? Could you even imagine how heavy that thing is too? And you want to try and attempt to pull it out into your boat? To add onto this video with some news, these guys were fined $600 too for messing around with wildlife after their video went viral. Serves you right, you guys. I hate snakes just as much as the next guy, but just leave the darn thing alone. I remember my days of being naive, unscared of anything, as I would explore big lakes alone on my canoe or paddle boat. Yeah, those days are over for me, at least alone. Now, imagine yourself on a paddle boat, far from shore, and this giant, unknown creature comes and swims right under you, almost knocking you over as well. My heart would stop, especially if it succeeded in dropping me in there. This poor guy even caught his experience on film with it, and it makes me anxious for him while I'm watching this in the comfort of an office. They claim that it's some sort of sea monster, but we'll be the judge of that. There is some insane force as it breaks the surface right where the paddleboard is, and what insane luck this guy has. Your camera would have gone bye-bye, and with all the proof of this encounter washing away. Literally, and maybe even your own existence. Giant snake, megalodon, whale, manatee, mermaid even? Who knows? It's scary, it's icky, and I'm not interested in finding out. Only thing I can tell you, sir, is that you're going to need a bigger boat. More supposed serpents that are hidden beneath the waves, my absolute favorite, because you'll never see it coming when they strike. I'm talking to the guy who took this video now. So, you're seeing this creature coming, witnessing the crazy waves it's making just from being under the water, but you decide to stand at the edge to get better footage? Our curiosity really intrigues me sometimes. A part of me still wants to be able to see it though. I want to know, I want to see how big this guy is to making such intense waves in a river. Thank you, first of all, for giving me content to talk about. But dude, if this was a giant serpent like you claim it to be, wouldn't you be maybe a little more cautious with it? We saw the video where the snake and the chicken, right? You're the chicken in this scenario, dude. I've posted this one before, but it also deserves to be on the Titanoboa list for how weird and sick it is. This ugly creature was found apparently in Ranco Lake, Chile, and spotted by what I'm assuming was a hiker, and immediately needed to film this encounter. Right off the bat, we know it's not nearly 40 feet in length, but this guy is quite wide. It definitely has to be a serpent of some kind with the way it's shaped, but its movements aren't very snake-like. Specifically how they'll twist their body as they move along surfaces and water to get momentum. This guy is just straight beelining down the river. The uploader of this video also states in the beginning that the water isn't sustainable habitat for crocodiles, alligators, or even seals. So what the heck could it be? I still can't figure out if this is CGI or not because of how low quality the video is, which is how they get you. Based on me not being able to find any news articles about this thing, it's more than likely fake, but still wicked nonetheless. Y'all 3D artists out there are getting a little too good for me now. Our beaches are no longer safe, let alone our rivers. Picture yourself snorkeling on a beautiful, hot summer's day, and you're then being placed face to face with a giant water creature. This person, thankfully not in the water at the time, managed to get this thing on camera as it's just casually parading around the shallow shores, twisting and turning almost snake-like. It's extremely short though. Again, so I'm skeptical to believe it's actually a giant snake, but its movements do have me questioning it. It twists and turns like this multiple times as it makes its rounds, making me wonder if it's just waiting for some poor, unsuspecting person to step into the shallow depths, or it's just a harmless seal who's also enjoying the warm summer waters. I prefer the latter. Yeah, I'll swim with the seal. But who's to say? These videos are cryptic as all heck with little to no explanation, which is why they're so darn popular. There's also the possibility that because of our huge involvement with the ocean and nature in general, it's pushing these terrifying creatures closer to our neck of the woods. That me no likey. I hope the guy in this video is getting paid a heck of a lot of money to have to put up with this, because you cannot pay me enough to pull a giant snake from out of the ceiling. I really hate how this video starts off too, with the worker carefully opening a ceiling tile and revealing the beefy body of this thing. Also, is this in someone's bedroom? Did you sleep with that thing that's also sleeping just above your head? As he continues to do his job, the entire ceiling begins to crumble under the weight of this thing. Burn it all down. We can build a new house somewhere north of Canada, Alaska even, where these things wouldn't dare come and bother us. I don't think I can even show you the rest of this video, but the guy begins to attempt to grab at its head to stop it from going at him. It's funny because as he's trying to collect this thing from running away, it reminds me of me trying to stop my dog from eating garbage off the streets. Weird comparison, I know. If you have any stories or video footage of giant snakes that you believe to be the Titanoboa, send that over to me please. I would love to discuss your stories on the next video, and maybe even make it hard for me to sleep tonight. That is all from me today, and if you enjoy our silly talks about crazy looking creatures, I will be sure to see you all in the next video. Stay creepy, my crawlies.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Come binge some more most amazing content by clicking this video next. We have found some footage of some mysterious creatures that have been locked away for centuries, and the clips are disturbing. Click the video now. What are you waiting for?